going on, y'all? Welcome to the Plain of Doubt channel where we doubt everything. Today I'm here with the squad. My name is Chris.
CX Drive.
Asiel.
Measy Baby or Manny.
It's your boy John Lewis, and today we are here to present a new segment. It's called One Gotta R.I.P. Basically, my dog Chris here will give us four options of four great things, but one has to go. Now, the main topic is Kanye West. Chris, what are we choosing from my dog Don?
All right, so I know we're all huge Kanye West fans. So the four albums I got for you guys: number one, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Okay.
Number two, Yeezus. Number three, Graduation. And number four, College Dropout.
I'm actually surprised this is your four. I'm glad this is your four, but I thought you were gonna say one more, so it kind of makes it easier that one isn't there.
Easier.
That list was very thought out because I know if I were to put a different album on there, like maybe like The Life of Pablo or something like that, I feel like that's not one of his best albums. So I'm really trying to choose the heavy hitters and really make us think.
Well, you forgot my dog 808s and Heartbreak, which would have been
Yeah, that would have been intense.
I listened to that whole album today because I was trying to see like what I wanted, but that 808s and Heartbreak. Honestly, there's no bad choice, but I think these are the clear heavy hitters, the clear four best albums in my opinion, and I just want to see what we think.
right. Well, I think it's fair to say that maybe for I don't want to say our generation, but like our age range, Graduation is probably like the one album that we can all automatically run to. Just because like Graduation was an introduction for a lot of younger fans, and it kind of kept some of the OG fans. But yeah, now Graduation that's a tough one. I feel like Graduation, you can't even get rid of that. Like
Graduation for me is what made me a Kanye West fan because I'm pretty much a millennial. I'm young, and that's the songs that I would hear pretty much every day on the radio, like Stronger, Can't Tell Me Nothing, and all that. And I love all those songs. And that album has all the heavy hitters. So that album made me a Kanye West fan, and it made me expand and listen to all his discography and really just love him till today. I'm a huge fan, as all of us are. But Graduation really is the album for me that made me a fan.
These are some of the. Well, two of these four are, I think, arguably two of the greatest albums ever made.
Mm.
And sonically, Yeezus is almost unmatched.
I like that you threw in Yeezus because for a lot of people who are going to watch this, it's probably going to be the easiest for them to RIP. But in this pod or in this segment, I don't think it'll be that easily pushed to the side. But
I mean, if you're an old head about to watch this, you probably already left.
Not really. Though you put late registration and college dropout. That's for the old.
College Dropout and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Yeezus, and Graduation.
I mean, like for me, that's actually not that hard. Just because like when it comes to Kanye albums, there's just some that I love like legitimately over all the other ones. You know what I mean? There's like a specific like holy like 4 or 5 of them, and I keep those up top. The only one of these that's not in that for me, although I do like this album, is Yeezus. Yeezus is cool. Like I definitely can get into it. But John, you brought up a thing earlier today where you were like, you got to think about it. You can't live without any of those songs. Like if you're gonna RIP it. And you know, the only other one that I almost took out over Yeezus was College Dropout. But like that one song that Jay-Z's on, when it comes to being true, I forgot what the name of the song. I think it's Never Let Me Down. That's what it is.
Right.
Like that's literally one of my favorite songs ever, dog. Like to this day, that's still one of my favorite songs. And like if I couldn't live without that, like, you know, there's just no way I would be able to live with myself. So I think for that, I'll probably have to put College Dropout over Yeezus. and take out Yeezus.
So let's stay on that, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I think it's easy to judge it by you can live with most of these songs without most of these songs, but don't forget this. Yeezus was when New Slaves came out. And the rollout for New Slaves was this man premiered the video throughout the country on buildings, on sides of buildings. Like people were meeting up around the world, around the country, like, yo, in New York in 45th Street, he's premiering an album or a video, and then people were gathered just to see this man's face on the side of a building. That's never been done. So like, even like if you could kind of live without the songs, like what came with that rollout and what that album meant to Kanye's life as a Kanye fan, you feel like you care because that was the time where he was getting rejected by fashion. So that was the album he made when he was kind of like, I've had it with everybody trying to tell me that I can't sell these shoes or I can't make good clothes. So that was his protest to music, was like, all right, y'all gonna feel me. So the first record I'm gonna do is called On Sight. And when you press play, it's like, boom, boom, boom. Like you hear the freaking, those hard keys, you can like feel like the pain that he felt. So like psychologically is impressive because he literally said, I wanted you to feel my pain throughout this album. And it worked because people hated it or people like felt like, damn, like the Sonic actually matches with his moods. Yeah. So as a Kanye fan, like falling in love with the person, you have that attachment to him. Like maybe not with every single record, but like you remember that moment in time where he was struggling with fashion.
I mean, like Yeezus is definitely it's not a weak album, like by any means. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to get it twisted with anybody. Like I love Yeezus, but like to me, like when College Dropout, like not only was it, I'm not gonna really talk about the other two too much because I feel like those are kind of like S tier Kanye albums, and I don't know.
Like, those are untouchable.
Bro, word, yeah, like those are untouchable albums. But to me, bro, like College Dropout being his first album. And then not only that, you got so many different types of Kanye in that album. Like you got the religious Kanye, you got the goofy Kanye, you got the socially conscious Kanye. You got Kanye putting Jay-Z and Mos Def and Talib like on the same songs. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it just kind of shook the thing, man. That's why to me, like that's always an album that I'll always hold dear to me.
You said that was College Dropout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about All Falls Down.
Yeah,
you're talking about Jesus Walks.
Yeah,
you're talking about the workout plan. You're talking about Through the Wire. You're talking about 2 words: Shot Town, South Side, Worldwide. Yeah, that's tough, dog.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I had to get College Dropout in there for sure because obviously it's his first, but that's what broke him out in the industry.
Yeah.
Now the funny thing, I'm gonna kind of bounce on the Yeezus talk. The funny thing is, for first-time viewers, that's my cousin John.
Yeah.
And when it first came out, he was over here. He lives in Florida. I live in New York. He was over here, and I was like, "Yo, John, I'm really not a fan of at all," because I was so used to graduation or college dropout or late registration, and what was the next one? 808s, I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and that was a little mix of everything. And to me, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is the greatest album I've ever heard in my life. And it was just so different that I literally shut it down. Like as soon as I heard like those crazy noises, like On Sight, like that shit comes in hard.
Right.
And you really got to be patient with the album. And John taught me that. Like I would just kind of skim through it because I didn't really hear what I liked. And the first couple of times I did not enjoy it. And John just told me, like, bro, you really got to listen to everything. Like, there's stuff that you're missing. The beats, they're crazy. Like, there are some bars that you're not really paying attention to. I'm like, all right, I'll keep listening to it. And with every listen, it just gets better and better and better. And Yeezus is an album that I don't think I could live without because that whole album is an experience. You feel something every song. The beat hits you and it affects you in some way. The way he comes in with bars, is it's just like you're getting an experience from every point and every aspect of the song. And to me, I don't think you get that. You don't get that same experience with College Dropout. College Dropout, to me, of course, is an incredible album. It's great. It's his first album, and it has those hits. It has All Falls Down. It has Through the Wire. It has Jesus Walks, and
Slow jams.
those songs are untouchable. But to me, I don't play College Dropout all the way through every time I listen to it. Every time I turn on Yeezus, I'm playing the whole thing. I'm not skipping one song. I'm on College Dropout. I'm skipping skits. I'm skipping some songs. On Yeezus, I'm definitely not doing that. You got to get the full experience. So for that reason, I would probably take out College Dropout. And I know people are probably going like that right now. Like, are you kidding me? But like I said, I'm also a millennial. I grew up with Graduation. That was really my first album. So of course, like College Dropout has some of the best rap songs known to man. But I really grew up with this new stage of Kanye, and I appreciate those oldies. But I'm like I said, I'm a new millennial, so I would definitely go College Dropout would be off my list.
I'm gonna hit the doubt it button on that. So for me, I thought this was like no offense, whatever or anything, but for me, it's not a difficult choice
Agreed.
to make for this. I love every single album Kanye has made. Listen to every single thing throughout. Um, don't get me wrong. All the choices you picked, are great, but I didn't feel like if it was that difficult for me personally, and that choice that I would have to pick, like take out if I had to, the Yeezus album. And that's not like I'm not disrespecting Kanye or nothing. That's the one I'm picking. Like I love that whole album too. Like I listened through to those 10 songs. Like once it came out, still listen to it every day. I love all the songs on that. But compared to the other three that are on the list, like that's my choice to pick because especially the
So you could live without Blood on the Leaves, Bound 2.
if I had to,
Yeah.
that's
Blood on
what
the
I'd-
Leaves is crazy.
No, yeah, that's my favorite song on the album.
And I
But
feel like the reason why Chris it probably over time made it easier for you to register is because I told you to listen to it like a film score. Like that's also the thing. Like I don't think the whole album was meant for you to like listen to it to rap back or to flow with the content. I think it was like, he has running, he's gasping through the hallway.
And that's actually a really good point because like a lot of the rap I listen to is like that. You know what I mean? It's for you to like rap with it as you go along or whatever. And that album was not like that for sure.
Yeah, Yeezus is like think about it like a film. Like it's a short film. You're hearing like what happens after the song ends. He's running to the next room. He's like, you know what I'm saying? Like once you kind of accepted that form, it's like, oh shit, like okay, I can appreciate it more sonically because it's like kind of deeper than just like sing along records, if you will.
for me, I see that same thing, but for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, like I see that as like a film type thing. Like that whole song, it goes.
It also helps that he did make a short film for My Beautiful Dark.
That's a good point.
Like my top favorite, looking at the album of Yeezus, and I have my top favorite song on there, and I've listened to it probably like a billion times. So I love the song. Is Hold My Liquor. I love that song like to the top. Like I don't know what it is about that. It's like it's not him like the most lyrical in all his songs from that album, but that song alone just gets me, and I don't know why. But
Because that production is crazy.
no, yeah,
It starts off so low. That song literally gives you a whole cinematic experience in one song. It starts off low, and then the end is just.
Talking about Hold My Liquor.
yeah.
And in concert, if you guys were able to go to the Yeezus concert, the viewers or whatever, that moment was crazy because he had the whole stadium goes pitch black, and then a demon comes out with red eyes, and it's kind of crawling towards Kanye the whole song. So Kanye's like in the front of the mountain, and then the demon's just trying to like sneak up on him. So like it's kind of like that demon, like the what do you call it? Like the peer pressures of your vice, like coming after you. Like it's pretty crazy. Right.
I think we're all in agreement here. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and Graduation weren't even in the discussion for this.
Those
This
two
is
are never
just
gonna be.
these College Dropout and Yeezus. And as much as I love Yeezus, I'm going through the track list from College Dropout, and personally, I love cinematic music. It's one of my favorite things. I could sit there and just listen to beats all day and just have them play. I don't even know lyrics. But in terms of Kanye, because I know he can rap, between the two, I can't see myself taking Yeezus over taking College Dropout. It's just, I mean, Yeezus is definitely easier to get through because it's only 10 songs, so you could just run through them and they're all loud and engaging.
Right.
But here with College Dropout, you got way too many good, at least for me, there's way too many songs that, even though you might skip all the skits and stuff.
And some of his best like bars are on that album too, dog. Like, and Kanye has a lot of good bars, but like he spits on that shit, yo.
Yeah, like again,
color Benz I push mirror.
Dog, yes, man. Like, come on.
Look, that's another thing, Chris. Like the segment is kind of like you'll never hear those songs again, or they never existed. Kanye without Jesus Walks. I don't even think you can mention Kanye without Jesus Walks.
I remember I was in the fourth or fifth grade, and my teacher loved that song. Like she would play it in the classroom. That's how good that song was.
I didn't think about it like that. Like you put it, John, where I'll never listen to it again,
or it never existed. So that kind of comes out with a different record. Like it's not even Jesus Walks, right? It's like
I think that's what made Kanye that song specifically. Like they brought him out so much, like to everybody.
Well, that was one of the first records that wasn't gospel played on the radio, right? What's the bar, Manny? So if I talk about God, my record won't get played.
Won't get paid, huh? Yeah.
That was so much people's attention.
It's a controversial record at the time, if you will,
of course, but he did,
which is hilarious.
He did his best work there.
And I mean, we have to talk about it. Dark Fantasy. You're talking about just a masterpiece of
that is, if Kanye, like, if he has one perfect album, is that one. Like that album is just flawless, dog. Like honestly,
it was
top to bottom.
He invited everybody out to Hawaii. This was after the Taylor Swift thing, remember? Yeah. So Taylor Swift incident happened. He disappeared for 6 months, and then 6 months later, all you hear is and you're like, all right, what's going on here? This is a different vibe.
This is breakup Amber Rose too, right?
Yes, dog.
Well, it wasn't. Yeah, you might be right.
Because he did the song with
Blame
Chris,
Game.
Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Rock.
And then popped up at the VMAs?
Yeah.
With the red suit and the
yes, Runaway.
Oh, and then when he did Runaway,
I love that's the best MTV performance
ever. Will never leave my head.
But look how many pinnacles this up right. So you have after the Taylor Swift happens, you have the VH1 Red Suit performance. You have the short Runaway film that came out after it that had Pusha T and the Phoenix the Phoenix. You got Devil in a New Dress with a Crazy Ross verse.
Bro, and then speaking of crazy verses, dog, the features on that album, Nicki Minaj, I'm not a fan, but the best verse I've ever heard spit was
oh yeah, she definitely got her breakout after that.
Bro, like come on, like he had a John Legend in there, he had Jay-Z in there, Ray Ross, like the features were just insane, man.
You look at the features on you're like, how?
And
I didn't even say Raekwon, dog. Like Raekwon was on that fucking album.
No, you're talking about you're talking about lyrics. A person that says Kanye ain't lyrical, show him gorgeous.
Like
all you gotta do is play gorgeous. And then you have all of the lights. All of the lights is featuring our moms in it. They wouldn't even know it.
Yes,
all of the lights.
Song, right? Yes.
or Elton John.
Elton John,
Yes.
Cudi, Rihanna, Kanye,
I don't know why
Drake.
I don't know why you got Fergie, but
Drake is like All of the Lights was a record that took months to years to make. I remember hearing a snippet of it, and then 6 months later, the actual record came out, and it sounded like totally different. And that's just like stadium music.
You take that All of the Lights, and it's a great song by itself. But then you had that interlude right before it that leads up to it. Oh my god!
Which I used for my sister's like wedding, coming out to the wedding type shit.
That interlude,
very classy.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is a combination of Kanye's bars in College Dropout and Yeezus, as in the beats were a little more experimental in this one, but they still had the
right
beats, and it gave you that cinematic view. But Kanye's bars in this album, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, are
you're talking about Blame Game, Chris Rock, Rock at the end with the skit. Oh my god!
I ain't never seen this part of Pussy Town.
This the one that twists the head on the sauce.
Yeah, and you got Dark Fantasy.
With the bezel.
That's
yeah, and dude, okay, so you got Nicki Minaj, probably best verse of all time that she's ever spit, and then you got Sci-Hi the Prince appearance on So Appalled for the first time. And you talking about that story alone is crazy because Sci-Hi wasn't supposed to be on that record. Jay-Z and Beyonce were in the room, and they were like, the engineer played it, and at the end, Sci-Hi sneaked in a verse when everybody left the room, and Beyonce was like, "Yo, who is that? You need to sign him." So Kanye signed Sci-Hi because of Beyonce and Jay. So that album broke careers for other artists. You know what I'm saying?
Never heard a better verse from Raw, in my opinion.
How does it go again? I can't.
Making love to the angel of death. Catching feelings, never stumble, retracing my steps.
Yeah, hard. But yeah, you bring in, before that, you got Graduation. You got Stronger, which was a crossover for a lot of fans or a new audience that hadn't heard Kanye.
But even without I mean, obviously the track listing is important. That doesn't need to be said. But like that album, do you guys remember that like during that time, like Kanye and 50 were like kind of going at it.
Yes,
and they had that competition of like, who's gonna sell more first week.
Yep.
Bro, that was the first time a non-gangster album beat a gangster rap album in like.
And 50 Cent, who was huge.
50, who now we laugh at him, but at the time, like he was popping at the time. Like that album, like without that album coming out, bro, like. I feel like that opened the door for any other rapper that came after that wasn't talking about like gang shit. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
true.
Without that album, I don't think we would have gotten any of those
That's
guys.
Oh, go ahead, John.
You talking about I Wonder? Find your dreams come true, fam. That sample. That sample is undefeated.
Yeah.
There's no way that song starts and you're not like
I've been waiting for this my whole
and that's a whole other thing. Nobody else
top favorite Kanye song.
You know how hard it is to rap on a beat like that and then Kanye just flew like that?
Real quick. The artwork. The artwork of this fucking album, dog. It's fucking incredible.
And a lot of the videos that came out that were a cartoon, Good Morning was like that.
Probably my favorite music video of all time is Good Morning.
For real?
Bro, Good Morning.
I remember watching that so many times as a kid. Him rolling up in the DeLorean to Graduation, a little bear. Oh my God.
Bro, fucking Good Life with T-Pain, dog.
Man, that was, and it's interesting looking back, like, damn, T-Pain was in that shit, but he sounded, he was great in that shit.
I think that's the song that had the beef with 50. Like they kept, they were comparing during that time when he was gonna release that video.
Word?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I remember that too.
And then Barry Bonds with Wayne, like, dog.
This is what you all been waiting for, ain't it?
This is prime. This is prime Lil Wayne.
Right.
Remember that, like, dog.
Yeah. How you gonna say I ain't no low head? Because my Dior got me more my dough head.
I'm insulted. You should go ahead. Bounce so hard you need to your phone. Come on,
You got Big Brother, which was dedicated to Jay-Z. and like like bigging him up on that record. I think low key that the beat is even a Prince sample. I might not be correct in that, but it might be, which is a big deal because Prince doesn't like anything of his sampled. So of course Kanye is gonna do it. But
Homecoming for Chicago.
Homecoming.
I forgot about, bro. Like just thinking about the songs, like
I love Homecoming.
Homecoming I love that song.
And we can't forget about the main one, dog. Can't tell me nothing.
Yo,
Wait
till
till I get
man.
Great.
That's just too
my
good.
favorite Kanye song of all time.
Yeah, I don't fight you on that because that song till this day it's like one of the hardest records you could play.
That's
like,
another conversation for a different day because that's another one we'll go in on.
You can't forget about Flashing Lights either.
Any mood,
right.
and nothing comes on. You look around, you're about to spit.
The first time I heard Flashing Lights, I was in New York, and I heard it in my boy's car. I had to like sit there for like 10 minutes straight while moving.
What did I just hear?
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? Like, 'cause once it dropped, I'm like,
Again, beats that only Kanye can flow on, really. like you know what I'm saying? Like those are beats that like rappers just go in there and kill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm gonna thank you here, Chris. Thank you for choosing Yeezus and College Dropout.
right.
Because I'll be honest with you, I thought it was gonna go My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Graduation, 808s, and if you would have thrown those three, I would have been perfectly fine. But if you would have thrown Late Registration, that's where you would have messed me up, and I would have had to sit here for hours trying to break it down.
I think 808s was my next.
You should have picked 808. But
of course is unbelievable, which has one of my favorite Kanye songs, Roses, and a bunch of other. Like that album is terrific. Like
without this album, you don't get introduction to Lupe Fiasco on Touch the Sky.
Yeah, that's true.
A fresh cool young Lupe. Come on.
No, Lupe still like Lupin the Third, boy.
And you don't get Drive Slow with Paul Wall, Switch a House Club Rock.
Yo, Paul Wall killed that shit, dog. I don't give a fuck. I will defend that verse till the end, dog. That verse is so hard.
Jamie
one
Foxx,
of the best
Adam
beats.
Levine, Common, the
See,
game.
I'm glad like you didn't put Late Registration on there because that's probably tied for my favorite Kanye album. To be totally honest with you, like that album is just is amazing.
Sounds like you would have messed all of us up with
yeah,
that.
like Late Registration was actually the first Kanye album I owned.
Every album changed the game sonically, or you know what I'm saying? Like, because before Yeezus, you had 808s and Heartbreak, and nobody was expecting Kanye to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for me, I feel like the experimental thing was 808s.
Overall, as an album, yes, 808s and Heartbreak was.
And I feel like I think you said this, John, but for the Yeezus one, that was like his statement. Like that's
right.
when he had to tell people like how he's really doing things, like from his starting from his fashion and his shoes and stuff like that, his fashion line, his clothing line, all that thing, and like just a statement out to the world showing like this is who he is and stuff like that.
Chris, I see it. Let's hear all the ones that got an R.I.P. What's your choice?
I'll let Chris go last. My R.I.P. got to be Yeezus.
R.I.P.
As much
Yeezus.
as I love Yeezus and the beats, I can't take it over the lyricism in College Dropout.
Yeah.
Right.
For that reason.
For that reason.
I'm gonna silence.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing, man. Like with Kanye's albums, dog. Like anything from College Dropout to Dark Fantasy to me is like that. Like those are the S tier Kanye albums. You know what I mean? Anything that came after that, in my personal opinion, was not to the quality of those albums. So that's why, like, really, like, it's not that Yeezus is bad. It's just that anything that was gonna come that didn't come within those four, to me, was always gonna be the bottom choice. So I'm gonna say Yeezus.
I'm gonna have to go the same. Unfortunately, like I love all Kanye albums. Huge fan, always been, but Yeezus got an R.I.P. I'm sorry.
This is so tough.
Well, you got to pick, sir.
My choice to go will be College Dropout. I'm gonna stick with Yeezus just because.
Respect. So yeah, man, I think for me, like as much as it pains me, Kanye is my favorite artist of all time. I'll say that right now. So picking anything from his catalog to get RIP'd is just painful. But I guess I'll go with Yeezus, unfortunately. I love everything that it stood for, but it's not the best sonically out of his own catalog. Because I will say this, Yeezus actually, Jay-Z said it in a Breakfast Club interview once. He said that Kanye is like the cowboy that goes on top of the hill, looks at the Indians and tells us that they're coming. Basically, he's the ones to try everything first. He experiments, and then everybody bites off of it. But yeah, I think so. 4 of us go with R.I.P. to Yeezus. My dog Chris goes with R.I.P. to College Dropout. All right, no Jesus Walks for you, man.
You going to hell. You're going to hell.
I made Jesus Walks. I'm never going to hell.
Hearing the name, like those songs, it's just like what did I do? Like,
Chris, he's gonna be up all night.
Hey man, I respect you for I respect you for standing on your choice.
Word, dog, word.
Well, that includes this episode of One Gotta R.I.P. Thank you for joining us. This will be coming soon. More content. Stay tuned. POD, Planet of Doubt. We're out of here.
Peace.